So this is my favorite poem, I think, of all times. It's called The Spider and the Fly. It was written by Mary Howlett in the 1800s. And in 2002, Tony DiTerlizzi, who's an illustrator as well as an author, decided to take Mary Howlett's words and illustrate it. He did win this year. It was published in 2002. He did win the honorary Caldecott Award. It doesn't have its symbol, but it did win its honorary Caldecott Award for these amazing black and white illustrations describing this narrative poem. So, of course, our goal here is for you to hear some amazing poetry and think about what's happening in a poem, but also that you're going to create your video, basic video with the title and your video of your poem at the end of this lesson grouping. So I have the book digitally so you can see it. There it is, The Spider and the Fly. While I'm reading the poem, my only goal for you at the end is to tell me the lesson, the theme of the book. What lesson or moral can we take from this story? So what is the lesson or moral we can learn from The Spider and the Fly? And always, before you start your reading, try to do your pre-reading thinking. What do you know about a spider? And what do you know about a fly? Think about it. Who's the predator? And who's the prey? Who eats whom? So again, one of my favorite poems. It's a narrative poem telling a story, a poem telling the story. Here we go. "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. "'Tis the prettiest little parlor that you ever did spy. The way into my parlor is winding up my stairs, and I have many curious things to show you while you're there." "Oh, no, no! Oh, no, no!" said the little fly. "To ask me is in vain, for who goes up your winding stairs shall never come down again." "I'm sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed?" said the spider to the fly. "There are pretty little curtains drawn around, and the sheets are fine and thin. And if you'd like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in." "Ma ha ha!" "Oh, no, no," said the little fly. "I've often heard it said they never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed." Said the cunning spider to the fly. "Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I've always felt for you? I have within my pantry a good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you're very welcome. Would you like to take a slice?" "Oh, no, no," said the little fly. "Kind sir, that cannot be. I've heard what's in your pantry, and I do not wish to see." "Sweet creature," said the spider, "you're woody and you're wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings, how brilliant are your eyes. I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf. If you step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself." "I thank you, gentle sir," she said, "for what you're pleased to say. I'm bidding you good morning. I'll call another day." The spider turned him round about and went into his den, for he knew the silly little fly would soon come back again. So he wove a subtle web in the corner sly and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. Then came to the parlor door and merrily did sing, "Come hither, hither, pretty fly, in the pearl and silver ring. Your robes are green and purple. There's a crest upon your head. Your eyes are like diamond bright, and mine are dull as lead." Alas, alas, how very soon the silly little fly, hearing his willy flattering words, came slowly flittering by. With buzzing wings she hung aloft, then nearer and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of her crest ahead. Poor foolish thing, at last up jumped the spider and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her in his winding stairs into his dismal den within the little parlor, but she never came out again. And now, dear little children, who may this story read, to idle, silly, flattering words, I pray you never give heed. Unto an evil counselor, close your heart, your ear, your eye, and take this lesson from the tale of the spider and the fly. So what lesson can we learn from the spider and the fly? What is the theme of this book? Think about it for a few minutes. You may pause the video if you need to. Talk to each other. And then push play. Did you maybe say the theme of this book is to not go with strangers, that you should not listen to flattering words for that person to convince you to do something you know is not right, that you know in your heart is not the right thing to do? That could be the theme of this book. The author also wrote one more page written from the spider. Dear sweet creatures, no doubt you finished our delicious tale and are surprised by this little tragedy. But then again, what did you expect from a story about a spider and a fly? Happily ever after? Spiders are trappers, for goodness sake. We've been doing it for generations, and we're quite good at it. Even your beloved Charlotte E.B. in E.B. Webb's classic Charlotte's Web admitted as such. But alas, the poor dear never capitalized on her fortune. Now, if I were in her shoes, I would be eating bacon. With the wealth of knowledge about spiders and our crafty, carnivorous ways, you'd think my web would be empty. But not a day passes without a hapless bug or two stopping by. What's a spider to do? To be completely fair, my most recent dinner guest put up a commendable fight, but I am a talented and persistent hunter with many schemes up my sleeves, and you will see I always get my bug. So what does all this talk of spiders and traps have to do with you? Be warned, little dears, and know that spiders are not the only hunters, and bugs are not the only victims. Take what has transpired within these pages to heart, or you might find yourself trapped in some schemer's web. Bon appetit, spider. Well, I hope you liked listening to my narrative poem, The Spider and the Fly, illustrated by Tony DiTerlizzi and written by Mary Howlett in the 1800s. Now it's time for you to finalize picking your poem, opening up WeVideo, and start your basic video. Happy editing! So here we are on ClassLink. Click WeVideo. They just updated the home screen on WeVideo, so you'll see a difference. Let's look at the page. On the left, create a new video. You have your home button to get you back here, so no more dashboard. Home video. Templates are pre-made templates that might help you start a project. There are projects you're working on. Media are your folders. So I'm going to open that so you can see. Here are all the folders we created throughout doing different projects. You can create a new folder by clicking here, or in the gray, right-clicking. You can import photos or video clips you already have from some other source, and new folder to create a new folder. New folder, and then you can name it. If you already finished a video and you want to get to the videos you already exported, say you want to share the link, you come here, hit the three dots, and I like to click it. Here is the share button, and go ahead and get your link to share with your teacher or friend or whatever. Great. So let's open WeVideo. We're going to build our poem video. We're going to create a new one. I'm going to go video. You see my folders now pop up. I have blank lines over here for building. I'm going to open my poetry. If you didn't record your video yet, you click record, pick webcam. Webcam is just recording you, not your screen. I'm recording right now screen and webcam, but you would do webcam and record if you haven't already. I've already recorded and it's in my folder, but if you didn't, push webcam, push next, start recording. When you're finished recording, you would push stop. You can listen to it or record again and save. That puts it on the line 2, video 1 puts it on the line. So you could do it that way if you haven't recorded. If you recorded, like I already have recorded my video, it's right, let's see, I just saw it. There it is. Then I grab it, drag it to line 2, and you can listen to it. You might have to trim the front of it. It's very large. I'm going to make it smaller so I could see it on the screen. Hold on. Can I grab that little dot? There we go. Just to make it a little smaller on my screen so I see the whole clip. I want to then add on video line 1 right here, you're going to add your title. So click text, pick which one you want, and I decided I want one that goes at the bottom. So I'm going to put that right here. If I want to make it longer, grab it. If I want to make it shorter, put it shorter. And I want it pretty short. I just want it for a little bit. I'm going to double click on it to change the title. Right now it has Cameron Taylor. I'm going to put The Spider and the Fly. And instead of president, I'm going to write the author's name, Mary Howlett. Yeah, little star there. And Tony P. Terlizzi, who illustrated it. And I need to move this out of the way. I'm going to save changes. I can play it to listen to see how it sounds so far. And push the space bar to stop your video and start your video. And I might need to trim the end. This little scissor here, you can cut in the middle. Say right here, I messed up saying a word and I paused in the video. I didn't stop the video recording, but say I paused in the video. I knew I made a mistake. I paused to give me a little cut time. Then I started and I repeated. I can just cut here, go forward to where I then started correctly, cut it out, and I can delete this part by pushing my delete button, making sure it's highlighted, and drag this back over. Okay. At the end of your video, sometimes you have some moments where you're like looking for the buttons or you're stopping it. So maybe you need to trim the end. Remember, we're just making a very simple video here. So I might have to trim the end. Move this away. Trim the end off. And when I'm happy with it, then I'm going to push finished. Remember, a very basic video here. When you go ahead and name this, because we're exporting and I have a lot of students, I want you to name it very specifically. I want your grade level, say your 4th grade, underscore, your last name, underscore, your first name, underscore, and then your teacher's name. This just helps me stay organized. You already have the title of your poem in the beginning of your video, but this title is really for me to stay organized because I'm going to be watching all of your videos when you upload them to a Google folder for me. I'm going to set it. I'm going to pick which thumbnail I like. That's a little crazy, but that's okay. I'm going to only pick SD. You don't need high definition. For you, you're going to pick the first one, which downloads to your computer, and the second one, which goes to your Google Drive, and then you're going to export it. So today, go ahead and finalize your poem of which one you're going to do and start recording. I can't wait to see at the end of the week your final product. Just reviewing with you on your Bitmoji Classroom. To get back to this, you can get the https://tinyurl.com/Jafara This is where you would find picking a poem if you didn't have time on day one. These are great sites to use. Here on the Bitmoji Classroom, I had pointed out my poems that I'm probably going to be using this week, as well as a few suggested poets over here on the side that you can search for a poem by one of these poets. Here was day 2, The Spider and the Fly, with a small review on how to do the Weave video. Find and start a basic Weave video. Use the slides below for a visual step-by-step as you build. So this URL, again, is pretty important to get to on your own computer because once you're there, I had made a step-by-step visual on how to get there. So step 1, step 2, and it goes all the way down to creating your video. So you can always come back to the Bitmoji Classroom so you can have that step-by-step on your own computer. Again, I look forward to seeing what poem you pick and how you create your basic Weave video. Now, when I push play, you'll hear and see the top layer.
Are you recording? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I love you too.
I'm still gonna wear the hat.
Yeah. All right. I'm recording. Now I got to cut all that out. Okay. So